Ben Kenyon, Student Life Sports Information, here with women's wrestling head coach Toccara Montgomery, and also a former Olympian. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem. Great to have a representation for my sport.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming WCWA championship and also the ongoing season. So first, just your thoughts on the season so far.
The season has been up and down, like an emotional roller coaster, just because a couple of dual meets that we lost were within 2 or 3 points. If a couple things have gone slightly different, the outcome of the match would have changed drastically. We would have come out victorious. And to know that we're that close and it was just a couple simple or minor mistakes or techniques that we can switch is a little frustrating, but something I can definitely go back to the drawing board and figure out what I need to do to correct that for future matches and dual meets.
And thoughts going into this week's WCWA championship? It's here in St. Louis at Missouri Baptist.
I'm very excited. It's nice to be able to compete so close to home. We can expect to have a good crowd and fan base there that's going to be cheering the girls along, which can possibly help them get through a lot of those tougher matches. And just in general, like, the girls have been working pretty hard. I think they're polishing up their technique very nicely as coming along. So I'm excited to see what this weekend's going to bring. I'm going to have a lot of All-Americans and hopefully a few champions.
Lindenwood's been hanging around 5th, 6th in the rankings, but the collegiate wrestling for women is very competitive. It seems like any team can beat the other any given week. Is it kind of nice to go in maybe as the underdog?
It is, especially for the girls. I think they go on with not too much of a burden on their shoulders, and it's not too much pressure. They can just kind of go in and focus on what they need to do as far as being successful individually, and then kind of hopefully bring all that together and package it together for a top placing at the national championships this weekend.
How important is preparation going into the championships, like today's practice and everything?
It's very important. One, from a weight management perspective. Two, just to kind of go in and polish up some things, like I said, from some matches we've had in previous weeks. And then 3, just to make sure they stay sharp and their conditioning endurance is at its highest level.
And one unique feature about the program here at Lindenwood, after the collegiate season kind of winds down this next week here, you kind of transition into more of the international competitions.
True. Lindenwood puts us in a good position to be able to travel in the train and compete against some of the top, not just women in the country, but also some in the world. And that's not something a lot of programs can boast. There are only about a handful, 2 or 3 other programs who are capable of doing that. So Lindenwood has set the team and the girls up to be successful on both fronts, both collegiate and internationally.
Do you feel that combination helps prepare girls and continue their careers as wrestlers?
Definitely. I think to be successful, to be at your highest level, you have to wrestle year-round. You need to peak and not take those times off, like extended times off. There's always time for some rest and recover injuries and things like that. But traditionally, that's how I got to the Olympics. I competed year-round. I wrestled my collegiate events, and then I went straight into international competition. And I did that for about 4 or 5 years, and ultimately that's what got me to Athens in 2004. And I'm looking for the same thing for many of my girls here.
Awesome. Any other thoughts you have on the upcoming championship and the rest of the season?
Not too much. I'm looking for the rest of the season. It's a little more spread out, so it's a little more time for the girls to be able to come down a little bit and then come back up and peak, and we have an opportunity to do some cross-training, let some injuries heal. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully seeing these girls not only All-American or become a national champion, but also make some of the junior Pan Am teams or junior world teams also this summer.
That sounds exciting for Lindenwood Wrestling. Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck in the championship.
Thank you.